Hi everybody and welcome to Courage Coaching. In today's video we're going to talk about CPTSD, Complex Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, and how art therapy can be incredibly transformative for dealing with the symptoms of CPTSD. Now, as you know, on this channel, I focus a lot on healing from narcissistic abuse in childhood and also relational trauma. So you may not have necessarily had parents with a personality disorder with narcissism, but there was relational trauma. So your parents weren't able to meet your emotional needs in some ways because they may have had a mental illness, because they may have had a problem with addiction, because it may be that you were in a one-parent family and that parent struggled so much with trying to cope with everything that they just didn't manage to give you the things that you needed. Whatever your circumstances may have been, you still have developed trauma. You still somehow developed CPTSD and you live with the effects of this trauma in your daily life. And it doesn't just go away. It isn't something you can just ignore because it always catches up with you. So when you live with CPTSD, you will have triggers, you will have dysregulation, you will feel shame, you may have low confidence, you may generally struggle in life, you may feel like you are behind in life compared to others. Maybe you're still living at home with your family, maybe you never left home, maybe you struggle with anxiety or agoraphobia, or social anxiety, depression. Maybe you generally struggle a lot with your mental health and you would like to help yourself feel better. So obviously on this channel I do offer coaching and I have done that for 9 years now. I still upload videos and I still create content for you. But I'm also training to be an art therapist, and this has been a lifelong dream of mine because art and creativity has been such an important part of my own recovery journey. Art has always been the place that I go to when I'm really struggling, when I can't find the words to express how I'm feeling. When I'm overwhelmed with emotion, I will pick up a pen and I will start doodling. I will start creating different types of artwork. When I'm extremely anxious, I've noticed that I will create a lot of repetitive art. So that may be that I draw multiple circles in a row, and then that helps me feel more grounded. So then I draw more shapes, more repetitive patterns on paper because it helps me regulate, because I was never taught how to regulate as a child. So art is an incredible way to support yourself, to help yourself with your triggers. It's great if you don't know what you're feeling. Sometimes we are disconnected from our emotions. Sometimes our triggers are so big that we shut down completely and we don't know how to deal with stuff. Other times it may be that our mind is in overdrive and we are analyzing everything and we are obsessively thinking about things because we don't know how else to deal with the emotion that comes up. A lot of us go into our heads and we worry when we are feeling triggered or stressed or anxious. If you were never taught how to self-regulate, this is what happens. A lot of us also have a lot of coping mechanisms that we learned in childhood that are no longer serving us, but we aren't aware that we are doing these things. And we need somebody to help us understand that, you know what, these were things that we did for survival in our childhood. And the things I'm talking about specifically are perfectionism, our codependency, our people pleasing, are keeping ourselves busy all the time because we don't want to feel our emotions. It could be that we're always over analyzing everything that other people do, or that we focus on other people all the time to avoid what we are feeling. It may be that we find it incredibly hard being on our own because we were abandoned emotionally again and again in childhood. But this is where art therapy comes in and helps us. Now, I understand that you may not be interested in art therapy, and that is completely okay. But of course, this is something that I really, really believe helps, and I wanted to share it with you. If you're not interested, then feel free to stop watching this video. That is totally fine. But I have to talk about it because it's really incredibly helpful for CPTSD. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to list the different benefits that art therapy has on CPTSD. And secondly, I'm going to talk about the new course that I have coming up, which is called Meet Your Authentic Self. And it's an online 4-session course that starts on the 18th of July, so not long to go. And it's for a very small group of participants because I want to keep it intimate and I want it to feel safe for everybody. And it's all about helping you get back to your authentic self, to who you truly are. It's going to help you understand yourself more. It's going to help you see who you truly are without all of this extra stuff that you carry around from childhood, from your trauma. Being authentic is incredibly important for our healing journey. And especially if we are somebody who is very self-critical, who has this inner critic, this negative voice from childhood that's constantly, putting us down and telling us that we're not good enough. Art therapy can be especially good for that. So the first thing that art therapy can be really helpful for in CPTSD is that it gives us a voice to the things that are really hard to talk about. So those with CPTSD carry a lot of memories and a lot of emotions that are too big, that are too tangled, that are maybe unspeakable. And this is where art can be extremely helpful because it offers us a safe way to express what words alone can't. And this happens through different symbols that we create or images. This can happen through something that we make with our hands, whether that's out of clay, whether that's out of found objects. Art is very supportive in this. When we are creating a piece of artwork, we will find it easier to express ourselves through that artwork with the art therapist because it creates distance. It creates distance from the overwhelming emotions that we are sometimes unable to bear. And art therapy makes these emotions much more bearable. Art making helps us externalize our feelings rather than feeling completely swallowed up by those emotions. Now, as you know, trauma is stored in the body and in the nervous system, not just our mind. So this is where creative expression can be really handy because it can help us release any stuck emotions that we have in our body, and often at a pace that feels a lot safer than just talking about it alone. Art and creativity can help us feel reconnected to our bodies, especially when we feel disconnected from our feelings, especially when we struggle with dissociation. For example, the movement of a paintbrush on a piece of paper, that is somatic. That uses our hands, and the movement alone can be incredibly healing. This is incredibly grounding, and it gets us out of our heads and it helps us focus on something else. Art is tactile, so it connects us to our senses. Another amazing thing about art is that it helps us regulate our emotions. If we are feeling increased amounts of anxiety, art can help us self-soothe. Creating art generally soothes our nervous system. It can help us deal with anger. It can help us deal with anxiety. It can help us deal with grief. It is so good for all of these emotions. Art is like this beautiful vessel that holds our emotions and makes them easier to deal with. Another really good thing about art in regards to CPTSD is that it helps strengthen our sense of self. Because CPTSD can fracture our self-identity, art therapy generally invites us to explore who we are now, what we are feeling, what hopes we have for the future, what things from the past are still, affecting us. It helps us understand ourselves better. It can help us rebuild our identity. Depending on the piece of art that we create, this can be extremely helpful. And lastly, another great thing about art is that it can give us hope and meaning to things, especially when we do art therapy in a group setting, because we have each other. We share our artwork with each other and we talk about what it means to us. And that sharing in a group can help us feel less isolated in our journey of healing. It can help us feel more connected. It can help us feel more seen and accepted and validated, which may be things that we haven't experienced because we grew up in a dysfunctional family. So if you are interested in feeling that connection, that support, if you would like to try out a session of art therapy, then my new course is the perfect thing for that. It is only 4 sessions, starting on the 18th of July on a Friday, and for 3 Fridays after that. So a total of 4 Fridays. It is only €70, which is actually very affordable for 4 90-minute sessions. I want to make these things affordable because I want people to take part, because I know how much this helps. I know how much it's going to make you feel better. I'm still training to be an art therapist, so I'm very much looking forward to starting my practical work, and I would really love to welcome you onto this course. So if you are interested, then please leave a comment below this video. You need to sign up as soon as possible so I know how many people are going to be on this course. And if you have any questions at all, of course, then please let me know. If you are somebody who suffers with CPTSD, we are going to make sure that at the beginning and at the end of our online group sessions, we do some grounding exercises so you feel safe, so you feel comfortable. I am trauma informed. I have the ability to help people feel safe. So please don't worry about that. So if you want to read a bit more about the course, then please check out the posts that I've made on this channel. The information is there, the flyers for the course are there. On the 15th of August, I am starting another online art therapy course, which focuses on the creation of mandalas, which is another very therapeutic way to get in touch with yourself, to meet yourself at its core, to come back to yourself if you're feeling a bit disconnected. So have a look at that again. I keep creating new posts about these courses. And lastly, if you haven't checked out my other YouTube channel, please do. It's called Inner Flow Art Therapy. It would mean the world to me if you could help me grow this channel. So that is it today. Thank you so much for listening and for watching, everybody. I wish you all the best, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.